Pride. Pride is the sin of excessive self-importance. It goes beyond healthy confidence and becomes believing you are better than others, refusing correction or humility, placing yourself above rules, people, or even truth. In Christian teaching, pride is often called the root of all other sins, because it makes a person think they don't need anyone else. The lion became the symbol of pride due to how it looks, behaves, and is portrayed in human culture. One appearance of superiority. The lion's large mane makes it look bigger and more powerful. Its upright posture and calm stare give the impression of self-importance. This mirrors pride, projecting greatness and dominance. 2. Dominance and authority. Lions sit at the top of the food chain. Other animals avoid challenging them. 3. Cultural symbolism. Lions have long been used on crowns, flags, coats of arms, and thrones. They symbolize kingship, power, and authority. Over time, this royal imagery became linked to arrogance and supremacy when taken too far. The word itself. A group of lions is called a pride. Important clarification. The lion itself is not sinful. Pride is a human moral failure, projected onto the animal for teaching and symbolism. Envy. Envy is the sin of resenting what someone else has and wanting it for yourself, often with bitterness. It sounds like, why do they have that and not me? Or they don't deserve it, I do. Now, why is envy symbolized by a snake? Snakes don't attack loudly or directly. They hide, they watch, and they wait. And that's exactly how envy works. Envy doesn't explode like anger. You don't always show it. It grows quietly inside you. And when the moment comes, envy strikes through gossip, sabotage, or silent resentment. Snakes are also strongly linked to temptation in stories and religion, just like Satan tempts Eve to eat the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Also, they whisper doubt, comparison, and desire, just like envy tempts people to compare their lives to others. It's important to say this though, snakes themselves are not evil. The snake is just a symbol, used because its behavior visually matches how envy acts in humans. That's why envy and the snake go hand in hand. Wrath. Wrath is uncontrolled anger. It's not just being mad, it's when anger takes control and leads to violence, destruction, or regret. Wrath sounds like, I don't care anymore. I'll hurt them back. I'll destroy whatever's in front of me. So why is wrath symbolized by a bull? Bulls are usually calm animals, but once they're provoked, everything changes. When a bull charges, it doesn't think, it doesn't plan, it just rushes forward with raw force. And that's exactly how wrath works. Wrath doesn't pause to reason. Wrath doesn't listen. Wrath is blind rage. In bullfighting imagery and symbolism, the red cloth isn't what angers the bull. It's the movement, the provocation. Just like wrath. It's not always the problem itself, but how a person reacts to it. The bull represents strength without control. Power driven purely by anger. And that's what makes wrath so dangerous. The bull isn't evil. It's powerful. But without restraint, that power becomes destruction. Sloth. Sloth isn't just being tired or lazy once in a while. Sloth is apathy, the refusal to act, care, or take responsibility. It sounds like, I'll do it later. It doesn't matter. Why even try? Sloth is dangerous because nothing explodes. Nothing breaks immediately. Things simply decay. So why is sloth symbolized by a sloth? Sloths move extremely slowly. They sleep most of the day and avoid unnecessary movement. And visually, that perfectly represents sloth. But here's the important part. The sin of sloth isn't just about moving slow. It's about neglect. Neglecting duties. Neglecting growth. Neglecting what needs to be done. Just like the sloth avoids action unless it's absolutely necessary. A person trapped in sloth avoids effort, responsibility, and purpose. In symbolism, the sloth represents wasted potential. Not because of weakness, but because of inaction. And just like the animal, nothing dramatic happens. Life just stays still. The sloth isn't evil. It's simply built to conserve energy. But when that behavior is projected onto humans, it becomes the sin of sloth. Greed. Greed is the desire to have more than you need, and still feel like it's never enough. It sounds like, I want more. Mine, not yours. I don't care who loses, as long as I gain. Greed isn't about survival. It's about excess and possession. So why is greed symbolized by a pig? Pigs are known for eating far beyond what they immediately need when food is available. They don't stop early, they keep going. Visually, this made pigs an easy symbol for overconsumption. In history and storytelling, pigs were often associated with wealth, livestock, and stored resources. Owning many pigs meant prosperity, but also hoarding. And that's the heart of greed. Greed doesn't enjoy what it has. It collects, guards, and demands more. The pig represents a mindset of, where there is something to take, I take it all. If there's more, I want it. Of course, pigs themselves aren't selfish. They eat by instinct. But when that behavior is projected onto humans, it becomes greed. The refusal to be satisfied. And the need to possess more than others. Gluttony. Gluttony is overindulgence. Not just eating to survive, but consuming far more than necessary. It sounds like, I want more, even if I don't need it. I won't stop. I'll take everything I can. Gluttony isn't about hunger. It's about lack of restraint. So why is gluttony symbolized by a bear? Before hibernation, bears enter a phase called hyperphagia. They eat constantly, sometimes up to 20 hours a day. They gorge on fish, berries, and anything they can find, consuming enormous amounts in a short time. Visually, this behavior became a powerful symbol of excess consumption. In stories and folklore, bears are often shown eating endlessly, taking whole food sources, and overwhelming everything around them. And that mirrors gluttony. Gluttony doesn't ask, do I need this? It asks, can I have more? Of course, the bear isn't evil. It eats this way to survive winter. But when this behavior is projected onto humans, it becomes gluttony. Consumption without self-control. Lust. Lust is uncontrolled desire. The urge for pleasure without restraint, responsibility, or respect. It sounds like, I want it now. I don't care about the consequences. It's just about pleasure. Lust isn't love because love considers others. And lust only seeks satisfaction. So why is lust symbolized by a rabbit? Rabbits are famous for their rapid reproduction. They mature quickly, mate frequently, and multiply fast. Because of this, rabbits have long been used in art and folklore as symbols of fertility, sexual desire, and unchecked physical impulse. Visually and culturally, the rabbit became a symbol of desire without restraint. In many traditions, rabbits represent urges that act before thinking, driven by instinct rather than commitment. That perfectly mirrors lust. Lust doesn't pause to ask, is this right? Will this hurt someone? It only asks, does this feel good? Of course, the rabbit itself isn't immoral. It follows instinct to survive. But when that behavior is projected onto humans, it becomes lust. Desire without boundaries or self-control. Important note. All of these animals act on instinct and only use for symbolism. The sins reflect human behavior projected onto them. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe.